Hello beautiful people! In today's video I'm going to be doing a version of Throwback Thursday. I was inspired to try and do tutorials like 5 looks 1 palette, and the palette that inspired me to do that is this one from Anastasia. It's the Jackie Aina palette. I thought that this had a nice variety of different colors in it that would help with my creative side for coming up with more than one look and sticking with the palette. I think I did a pretty good job. I didn't really pull for other shadows other than a brow bone color and an inner corner highlight. But yeah, I had more than 5 looks planned, but 5 looks is all I had time for because I have a habit of not keeping things as short and sweet as others when they're doing 5 looks 1 palette, that they seem they can just condense it down to a 10-15 minute video. I am not that person, so this video may be a little longer, but I hope you do enjoy it. I have a couple more palettes that I want to do this for. I have a list on the go for I have an ABH Prism palette. I want to do the Natasha Denona Love palette. I also want to do the Natasha Denona Glam palette and a few more. So I thought this would be a different way for me to experiment with different looks using the same palette, because you guys know that I love to go into more than one palette for my creative looks. But yeah, if you... this is going to be the last look, I believe, when I'm editing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it at the very end. That's how I filmed it, in the same sequential order. So yeah, if you guys want to see the 5 looks that I created with the ABH Jackie Aina palette, then let's just get started. Alright, so I'm going to start off with this fluffy crease brush by MAC 217, the original, and I'm going to go into the shade Pinker, and I'm going to take this all over the outer half of the lid and into the crease. I'm just going to deepen it up a little bit with an even smaller brush, and I'm going to take that right into the outer corner here. I'm just feathering it ever so lightly out so I have a nice smooth blend. Okay, after you have that blended out to your desired liking, I'm going to take this paint pot from MAC, it's called Bear Study, and I'm going to take this on the inner half of my lid to give the shade Soleil something to stick to. Okay, then I'm going to take Soleil with my finger. Soleil is this color right here. It's a beautiful yellowy, peachy gold. I'm going to pack that over top of the Bear Study. Then I'm just going to take a small flat brush here and go in with Soleil again, and then go over top and just blend the edges out and over top of Pinker, just a tad. Then I'm going to go in to the shade Pinker with that smaller brush and just deepen up where I've lost some color from putting on I was trying to say another and additional at the same time and it wasn't coming out. I'm going to go back with my blending brush and just blend out some more. Now I want it just a little bit darker, so I'm taking an even smaller brush and taking that shade Pinker and just really concentrating it on the innermost part closest to the lash line. And a little bit into the lower outer crease there. Alright, now once you have the blend the way you like it, you can go ahead and complete your eyeliner. I'm going to do that, do the rest of my face, and come back and just show you how to do what color I'm going to use for the lower lash line. Alright, for the lower lash line, I'm going to keep it relatively simple. I'm going to take my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the shade Magnetic Pink. And I'm just going to apply that down along the base here, just so I have something for the shadows to stick and be extra pigmented. And then I'm going to take my pencil brush, and I'm going to go into the shade, let's go into the shade Soleil again. I'm going to kind of mimic the top. And I'm going to take this on the inner part of the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade Supreme, which is this pink shade right next to it. It looks a little more pinker on camera. Cool tone pink. It's a medium warm pink in real life. And I'm going to take that on the edge here and just blend the two together, connecting the outer corner with the shade that I used on the lid. And you can also use this Trust Issues color. I think I'm going to take a little bit of that over top. Just to give it more of a gold pop. Perfect. I'm going to try and take it on the inner corner as well, but I don't think it's going to pop the way I prefer my colors to pop, and it's not. So for that, I'm going to go in with my MAC inner corner. So this is Gold Dusk that I'm using for the inner corner. And I'm just going to blend the two together. Okay, so that is it for the lower lash line. Maybe I'll just add a bit more Soleil right here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and apply mascara and show you guys the final look. Okay, and this is the final look with mascara on. Alright, so going into the shade Sponsored, this nice green brown shade. And I'm taking that just on a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to begin packing that all over the lid. Now I'm resisting the urge to apply a base first. I don't want it to alter the color too much. Like, I was going to use this Makeup Geek shade gel eyeliner in Mystic, it's a green. But I was afraid it would pull too green. I kind of wanted to play with like the natural tones in this one. And by natural I mean like the way it was created, like how it's like green brown. I didn't want it to just, I was afraid to how it would look, so I just decided to not use a base and just pack it on. Okay, once it's on the lid like you want it, I'm going to take a slightly stiffer crease brush. This is the MAC 217, the natural hair one, the older one. And I'm just going to begin blending this out in the crease. Just slightly. This is actually really pretty, like one and done shadow, I think, if you're looking for that look. Just going to clean up the edges a bit, and then I'm going to go into the, I'm just going to brush off my brush, dust off my brush, and I'm going into the shade Credit, the brown here, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that, tapping off the excess, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that into the crease just to help give some depth and dimension when I blend out this color. Not a lot, just a little bit. Like, I don't want to go crazy and create like an over powerful smoky look. Just working that out, blending it in. I'm really not sure how this look is going to turn out, to be honest with you. I guess we will see. And then I'm going to take this slightly smaller brush and I'm going to go into the shade Pinker. I just want to take a little bit, because I see there's a little bit of like a reddy shift in this eyeshadow, and by reddy I mean like a warm brown. So I just want to take this burgundy and just pop it right in the outer crease here, just to help bring out some of that, like the warmth in that area. Just add a little bit of, like, you know, something something. And then I'm going to go back in, what did I do next? I'm going to go back in with Credit. And then I think I'm going to go back in with Sponsored after, just to tie it all together and make it look like Sponsored is blown out with just a hint of something else. Alright, perfect. That looks pretty much the same as the other eye here. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my eyeliner. I'm just going to use a brown. Oh, actually, I'm going to take a little bit of my glitter glue, just because I want to intensify that green shade just a little bit further. So I'm just taking this on top of what I already have laid down, wiping off my finger and going into the shade Sponsored with my finger and tapping that directly over top just to give that Sponsored shade that little extra oomph that I am looking for. Okay, now once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and apply eyeliner. I'm going to do my brow bone highlight. And for that, I'm going to use my Naked Basics, and then I'll come back and show you the lower lash line and the final eye look. Alright, so for the lower lash line, I was going to do the safe choice and do this gold color here, Dola's. But I'm not, because when do I ever go with the safe choice? So I'm starting off with my usual Magnetic Pink from Laura Mercier on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take Supreme, the pink, and I'm going to use that on the lower lash line instead. And I'm going to take that about halfway. And then I'm going to mix. I'm going to do a little bit of Dollars, the gold, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter gold, Trust Issues. I'm going to take that on the inner corner. I find these golds a little bit, I don't want to say difficult, but just a little drier. They need a little bit of work. And then I'm taking my MAC pigment in Gold Dusk, and I'm going to apply that on the inner corner. Sorry that Sebastian is screaming. He's not happy this morning. I'm blending a little bit onto the lower lash line. Okay, I will be back with mascara to show you the final eye look. Okay, so mascara is on, and this is the final look. Not the final, yeah, this is the final look. Not the final last look with this palette, but let me just zoom in a little bit. Oh, wrong way. Hopefully, don't know if that makes a difference. Lowering the light a little bit. Alright, that is it for this look. Alright, hopefully I'm zoomed in enough. I'm going to take the shade Ginger, and I'm going to start by taking that on a smaller crease brush and just adding it to the crease. I just want like a light wash of this. I don't necessarily want this super dark, but I'm just taking this brush and just blending it into the crease. I'm creating, my work is having a Halloween lunchtime thing, and they're carving pumpkins and dressing up. I am not into that kind of stuff. I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I thought today was the perfect day to whip out a black lipstick, and I wouldn't be looked at as crazy for it. So I'm going to do a makeup look that goes with my black lipstick. So I'm just taking that brush, and then I'm going in with this bigger MAC 224 just to really like blow it out. Because I want my eyes defined, but I don't want them like to take over, because I mean black lipstick is kind of going to be the center of attention. Alright, so now that that's on, I'm going to take, I wasn't going to take any glitter glue. I was going to use a different base, but I'm going to go in with glitter glue. And I'm going to take the shade Dollars, which is this gold color here. And I'm going to take that on the lid, because I think gold and black go together. I mean, black goes with everything, but I was going to use the Trust Issues, but I want something a little more, with a little more definition, a little more depth. So I'm going to take my finger, because that shade is like a little dry, And I'm going to tap that all over the lid. Now I always wipe off my finger before I go in again because I don't want to create hard pan with the glitter glue that's on my lid. And I'm just going to tap that and work it all over the lid and blend it out into the crease just slightly. And then once that's on, I'm going to go in with my flat brush here from 239, sorry. And I'm just going to take a little more and just really blend it and work it in. Alright, and then I'm going to go back in just with a little bit of the ginger shade, tapping it off, and just blend where it's needed. Okay. For the brow, I'm going to take my usual Urban Decay. There's no brow shade in this palette, so I'm not going to use it. I'm just taking a Venus and Walk of Shame. Trying to get some more use out of this Naked Basics palette before I toss it in the trash. Alright, and then I guess I could take, I was going to take my Fenty Beauty for the inner corner, but I'm just going to take a little bit of Trust Tissues, see if that adds what I want to the inner corner, and it will do just fine. Okay, that's it for the lid. I'm going to apply some eyeliner and then come back and show you the lower lash line and the completed look. Alright, so for the lower lash line, I'm starting off with the base of Magnetic Pink. Seems to be my go-to lately. And then with this tiny brush that I got from a palette from Anastasia, I'm going to go back in with the ginger shade. And I'm just going to use a little bit of this on the lower lash line to give a tiny bit of definition. Not a lot. And then I'm going to go in with Trust Issues. And I'm going to place this on the inner part here and blend it over top of ginger just slightly. I went a little too far over, so I have to match the other side. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to use a little bit of MAC's Gold Dusk. And that doesn't quite pop enough. So I'm going to go into, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to use Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction, I believe this one's called. And I'm using the special shade here in the corner, the bright gold, and I'm just going to pop that right over top just because I want a little more pizzazz in the inner corner. Okay, for the inner rim, I'm going to line with this cream colored pencil, and then I'm going to apply a lower lash mascara and show you guys the final look. Okay, and that is the complete look with the mascara on. I will remove this mirror and do a little zoom in so you can see, and with the completed black lip look. Does that zoom in? Yeah. So there's the eyes. And that is the third look with the Anastasia Jackie Aina palette. Alright, so I'm going to go in with Credit first. And I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush from MAC, and I'm just going to work this into the crease. And blow it out just slightly, but also working it down onto the outer half of the lid. I'm going to keep this part free from shadow for now because I'm going to put another color there. Alright, switching to a smaller brush here. This one's from Anastasia. And I'm just going to take a bit of that Credit on that smaller brush and work it into the outer corner of my lash line, and also bring it into about the center. And then blend it. This is the technique I've been using lately with my eyeshadow so I don't get that harsh line where my, what do you call that, my brow bone or my eye socket ends. This has been working pretty well for me. And then I'm just going to continue to work this up and out. I'm trying to match it to this side that I already did, but this side looks better than this side. Usually that's the way it goes, one looks better than the other. Okay, and once you have that blended out to your liking for now, I'm going to go ahead and stop, and then I'm going to apply this glitter glue to the eyelid. Going to tap it on. This is going to make the Zam shade that I'm going to put on stick really well and pop. Alright, so next I'm taking Zam with my finger. It's kind of a drier formula, so having some help with a glitter glue or wetting your brush or another adhesive agent will help, I believe. Alright, now that that's on with my finger, I'm going to take another flat brush here and I'm going to pat it on and blend it out some more. And I'm just going to take it over top of Credit just a little bit. I am going to go back in to the Credit shade. Sorry, I'm really thirsty today. And then with the smaller brush, just for more precise application, I'm just tapping that on the outer edge here just to blend those two together really seamlessly. Okay. Now if you wanted to go ahead and add more Credit to the outer corner, you can go ahead and do that now. I am almost happy with the way it is. I'm just going to add just a little bit more. Like, I don't want it too smoky, but at the same time I just want it like a little more. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and apply my brow bone color, which is the one from Urban Decay, as per usual. I don't know why I keep repeating this because it's the same thing all the time. It'll just save some time if I don't. But then I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyeliner. I'm also going to take, I'm resisting the urge to use my Fenty, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of the Soleil on my duo fiber brush here to give it a sheer application. And I'm going to apply that on the inner corner just to blend Zam into, well, to blend Zam out and blend everything together, as per usual. Just going to go back in with my finger with a little bit more Zam and apply that on the lid. Alright, I'm going to apply eyeliner and come back and show you the lower lash line. Alright, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to first take this Essence Jumbo Shadow in the shade, I don't know, because it's like probably not even available anymore, but it's basically like a rose gold peach color, and I'm just using this as the base. Now this is tricky to work with because it's so huge, and I just want it for a small tiny area. Alright, and then I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to take a combination of Soleil, and I'm going to put that on the inner corner here, and then I'm going to take Ginger, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner here. For Ginger, I'm taking a pencil brush. It doesn't have as much give as the MAC one. I'm taking that on the outer corner. Hopefully I'm in frame. I feel like my setup's a bit different today. Now I don't know how I'm going to like this combination because, I don't know, I don't usually use mattes. Actually I do. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to be quiet. And then I'm going to take this small brush here and I'm going to go into Soleil, and I'm taking that on the inner corner on top of that Essence base I just put down. And I'm just going to blend these two together. Actually, I'm going to go in with a slightly denser brush. I just want to get a little more impact from this Ginger shade. Just want to blend it into the corner. I got a tiny bit of fallout. Let me just dust that away. Okay. that looks okay, I think. I usually don't pair, like, it's interesting to me because this credit color, when I used it the other day, was more brown, but for some reason today, using it alongside Zam, it's leaning a little more towards the plum. And then the ginger shade that I thought would go really nicely with the Zam, it's kind of throwing me off. I don't know if I like it, but I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that credit and just blend it in to the outer corner here. Alright, I'm going to apply a little bit of a nude on my waterline, and then I'm going to apply mascara and finish up the look and come back and show you the completed look with mascara on. And do the inner corner, which is just going to be my MAC Gold. Alright, and here is the finished look using Zam and credit and ginger and soleil on the lower lash line. And I added a nude lip to this look. Alright, on to the next. Alright, so this side's already done because I kind of knew what I wanted. But yes, we're going to start off with the shade Credit, which is the brown. Now I'm hoping that this look looks better after it's all pulled together, because at the current moment I'm not loving it. As you know, I don't particularly love sticking in one palette for a complete look because my creativity is, I feel stifled when I'm just in the same palette. So this look is not my best, I don't think, but I'm trying to do these looks and make it work. But the more I try and do a bunch of looks with the same palette and only using the same palette, I'm finding it's really, really challenging for me. Okay, so I put a little bit of credit in the crease, not a ton yet. I do want to go ahead and add some glitter glue so I can add the red shade. Okay, I'm going to take a flat brush and going into the red shade. Not sure what it's called, Wig Elise, not sure, but I'm taking that on this brush and I'm just going to start packing it all over the lid, up into the crease and blending slightly, up into the brown color. Well, this shade is beautiful. It leans a little more orange than I had originally anticipated, but that's okay. And see, with the red look, I usually like to go in with like a deep burgundy in the outer corner, or just take the red shade all the way out as like a single shade on the lid. But I wanted to use more colors in this palette, so I am taking credit to blend in with it. But it's not my favorite, but it's not horrible, so we're gonna go with it. I'm just taking more credit and blending out the crease some more. I'm going to take a little bit of Supreme, the pink, on a slightly fluffier brush, and I'm lightly dusting that just on the outer edge, just to help a little bit with the blend, even though these aren't the typical colors I would combine together, like I said, but it's not horrible, like I just said. Alright, going back in with the other shade, or the other brush with nothing on it, and just blending a little more. I'm trying to avoid getting that harsh line by the brow bone, not brow bone, but my crease area, like I usually do, so I'm just taking a little more credit, and it's not working today. I'm going to take a little bit of it on the outer edge here, just to add a little bit more depth. This side is not turning out like the last side. It's getting patchy. I hate when this happens. Now it's going to force me to take it out further because I need to blend it out, and this side is not. So I'm going to have to take a little bit of this out as well. Alright, I'm going to go with my brow bone shade. Maybe that'll help tame it down. And there's nothing in this wow. There's nothing in this palette that gives me a brow bone shade, so I'm taking my Urban Decay Naked Basics, And I'm taking the 2 shades here as per usual, just to help tone the blend down and, you know, bring it back into submission. Okay, and I'm taking that brush, I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm just going to blow out the crease a little bit more just to help with the blend. And then I'm going in with my fluffy duo fiber brush, and I'm taking the shade Soleil instead of the Fenty Beauty Hustler Baby. I'm using this one from this palette. And I'm going to take that on the inner corner to help blend out the red there. Okay. Alright, that looks like it might be as good as it's going to get for now. It looks a little unblended on camera as per usual, but I promise in real life it doesn't look like that. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup and then come back and finish the lower lash line with you guys. Alright, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to use the Essence 2-in-1 eyeshadow. It's a rose gold-ish color, pink, I don't know, peach, I don't know what this is. All of the above. And then I'm going to take a combination of Soleil, Zam, and the red on the lower lash line. Starting with Soleil, I'm going to take that on the innermost corner, blending it in, and then taking Zam and applying that on the bottom middle, and then taking the shade Wigglies, the red one, I'm taking that on the outer edge and blending it, connecting it up to the outer corner on the lid, and then blending it into Zam. And then I'm just going to go back and repeat those steps just to make sure everything is all blended and full impact. I'm also wiping off my brush each time I go in between the colors, just because I don't want them to blend too much together on the actual spot where I want them to be the most pigmented, if that makes sense. And then for the inner corners, I'm taking my MAC pigment in Gold Dusk as usual. Just going to shake it up here. This gold just goes with everything, so that's why I use it with so many different looks. And after all these years that I've had it, it's still going strong, so can't go wrong. I'm going to continue using it until I can't anymore. Okay, so that is the finished look without mascara. I'm going to go ahead and apply mascara, and I'll be back to show you the final look. Alright, so here is the final eye look with mascara on. And for lip, I added, I don't remember if I did this for other tutorials, but for the lip, I added a nude, and I used a mixture of Lawless Cameron and Max Hue. Sure, I don't need to show you what hue looks like. You all know it's a pale pinky nude. Alright, and that is the finished look. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a good day.